Hey everybody, Yankee here again, and no, I am not wearing the same clothes 3 days in a row. I'm filming a couple of videos in sequence here because on the same day because I've got a lot to do this weekend and I'm not going to have time to film videos probably. I'll barely have time to do live chats, but I wanted to take the time today to answer a question that came in during one of my live chats. And remember, we do live chats every night at 6 p.m. except for Monday and Wednesday when they're at 5 p.m. if you want to join us. Feel free to come on in and tell me what I'm wrong about or anything like that. Ask me any question you want to ask. But I want to answer one of those questions, and I want to read it here verbatim before I lose it so that I can answer it properly. Kazim Awan asked me, if we support you financially, are you willing to work with lawyers and associations to stop the new pistol brace rule? Would you put time and effort? I think he means what I put in the time and effort. And what he's asking me is, would I work with groups to overturn or block the new pistol brace ruling? And the answer to that is no, I would not. Now, I know a lot of people are like, oh, you don't care about people's rights, blah, blah, blah. No, that's not what it is. Right now, I feel that every dollar we do spend to stop pistol brace rules, things like that, is money and time we're not spending for doing something real, like overturning the NFA. I think we have a real chance to overturn the NFA after Bruen. Like I've said in the past, Bruen has said that no gun laws can stand on the merit of public safety alone. They have to have historic precedent that they were a thing back in the days when the 2A mindset first came about, when they first wrote the Second Amendment and shortly after, basically. So if there was no precedent for this, if there's been no long standing, and we're not talking like, decades ago, we're talking a long time ago, then you can't have that law if it restricts the Second Amendment. The principle of the Second Amendment, there shall be no infringements. And since Bruen has said that, there is no historic precedent for the 1968 Gun Control Act. Zero. George Washington didn't inspect the guns of his troops and go, barrel's too short. You can't cut that stock off. Or anything like that. They didn't go, oh, you've got a forward thing that you can hold on to steady your gun. You got to take that off there or else you're going to jail. There's none of that in history. It's garbage. So under new Bruen regulations, those would fall. The NFA would fall. If only these big organizations that hold all the money, because they siphon it out of every state, because people give money to national organizations instead of keeping their money local, if they would actually fight that, I think it could easily be overturned. But they don't want to fight that. Gun control is their bread and butter. If there was no gun control, we wouldn't need them. They would lose their cushy jobs, their high-paying salaries, their big expense accounts. They would lose the power they wield, and they love the power. So they don't want things like that to go away. And since they control most of the money, we consolidate all of our money in these big national organizations. They don't open the purse and spend to do the actual stuff. They spend their money fighting things like pistol brace rulings that don't get rid of any real infringements. They just benefit the industry of pistol braces. And since those pistol brace people give them lots of money, they want them to keep making money. And since the infringements that keep the pistol brace companies in business actually keep them in business too, they don't want to overturn the actual infringements. So they hold all the money. If we kept our money at local levels and fought real battles, we would do a lot better. And it wouldn't just have to be like one state fighting. Because like if California, found someone was standing and was going to fight the NFA, well, other states like Ohio or, wherever could say, hey, we've got some money in our pot too. We don't really have any battles going on right now. We've been winning ours. We'd like to join you in your fight. Local level people don't tend to have big salaries, big expense accounts. They are held accountable by the people who know them. So that money, the money they gather, usually goes to actually fight causes. It doesn't go 80% to paying salaries and expenses and mouthpieces, etc., like it does on national levels. I mean, just look at the books of the NRA. They spend next to nothing on actual fights that would actually free us from infringements. And the GOA is going down the same road as the NRA. They are just the NRA 2.0. So answering that question, would I fight to defend pistol braces? No, I would not. I think you should be allowed to have them, but I think we should live in a society where no one would want one, because I think we need to get rid of the NFA. And like I said, any time and money we spend fighting a fight for a business that is actually profiting off of an infringement of our rights, that's time and money wasted. If someone wanted me to come and help them fight against the NFA, I would do anything, and they don't have to pay me. I don't get paid for what I'm telling you right now. My channel is pretty much demonetized. The only thing I get is super chats, and we spend that on Pets and Vets, the program Pets and Vets. So you wouldn't have to pay me to fight against the NFA. If they wanted to say, hey, if we bring you out to California, will you give a speech? Well, sure I would. I don't know why anybody would want me to, but of course I would. If they said, hey, we want to take a picture of you and use you as a spokesperson, I'd be like, well, that's the stupidest idea I ever heard. But if you think it'd help, I'll do it. I would definitely fight to overcome any infringement on our rights. I will not fight to protect an individual business that is profiting off of an infringement. That should be up to them to fight. If the GOA needs millions of dollars to fight this fight, which here's a hint, they don't. They have lawyers that work for them, and it doesn't cost much to file a lawsuit or an injunction, so they don't need all that money. If they want to fight it, and they want to fight it for the pistol brace makers, well, then the pistol brace makers should be funding that. They're the one profiting off the infringement standing. And the GOA and the NRA, et cetera, are the ones that are allowing it to stand because their bread and butter depends on it. So to make a really long answer short, no, I would not defend pistol braces. Just wouldn't. It's not anything I think that is my responsibility or your responsibility as good citizens and believers in the Constitution and the Second Amendment. I think it's our responsibility to spend our time, our money, and anything else we have to, give to fighting real causes that benefit everybody, not the profiteers.